The ultimate story of man versus beast. Ever since the first Predator movie crash-landed onto our screens in 1987, where we would see Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch and fellow soldiers being hunted in the jungle by a ruthless alien creature with terrifying tech and the ability to make himself invisible, we just have not been able to get enough of this terrifying movie Alien. A menacing cinematic monster, right up there with the Xenomorph and the Thing. What set Predator apart from those other aliens though, is Predator has honor. Hailing from an advanced alien world, the Predator aliens come to Earth in the name of sport, killing and then skinning for glory, much in the same way that human hunters do. And Predator won't kill anyone weaker than himself, only worthy opponents. And the Predator aliens would even give up their technical advancements for an evenly fair fisticuff battle.
Ugly motherfucker.
A celebrated movie villain who has now appeared in 5 movies with a 6th one on the way, and his popularity is just as strong now as it was back in 1987. Well guys, if it bleeds, then I can review it. So buckle up because hunting season has begun as I look into 10 things that you may not know about Predator. That famous movie alien that once did battle with Arnie in the jungle, as well as piss off Danny Glover in the city, and, well, whatever the hell happened with Adrian Brody there. So, let's check it out.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Number 10. The original movie was inspired by a joke. Yes, who would have thought that the now popular movie legend and franchise started off as a flippant joke? It all started with the release of Rocky IV, the Rocky movie where Rocky takes on Russia. Well, upon Rocky IV's release, there were jokes going around that because Rocky has now fought everyone on Earth, in the next Rocky movie, we'll be seeing Rocky fighting aliens. Screenwriters Jim and John Thomas obviously saw something in an otherwise humorous joke, and used the joke as inspiration for getting to work on writing the script for Predator, which, as the joke suggested, would see a Hollywood tough man fighting an alien. Only the script was serious, and the hero wasn't Sylvester Stallone, but Arnold Schwarzenegger. And just to add an extra Rocky connection, the movie also stars none other than Apollo Creed himself, Carl Weathers. Number 9. The Predator alien originally looked insect-like. So, with an epic alien movie in the works, the biggest question is just what on earth would the menacing alien look like? After all, it'll have to be something completely brand new and original, as everyone would have had the image of the aliens from the Alien movie franchise cemented into their minds. So the original design looked much more insect-like. In fact, Arnold Schwarzenegger himself thought it looked like a weird lizard creature.
You saying that Blaine and Hawkins were killed by a fucking lizard?
Thanks to his weird bug eyes, he didn't look very menacing. In fact, I can't help but feel like he looks like Brundlefly from The Fly, which came out just 1 year earlier. Thanks to James Cameron getting on board and getting in on creating the Predator's look, even giving him that double mouth approach. Number 8. JeanClaude Van Damme was the original Predator stunt double. In order to bring the Predator beast to life, a stunt double had to be used, which would require said stunt double to be under heavy makeup and costume, as with most movie alien monsters. Well, the original actor to don the Predator suit was none other than the muscles from Brussels himself, JeanClaude Van Damme, which would have seen 2 mega movie heavyweights facing off against each other. Yep, that's right, the epic jungle showdown of Arnie versus Van Damme very nearly happened. However, Van Damme was fired from the movie, supposedly because he complained too much about how uncomfortable the Predator costume was. But to be fair, it probably would have been very unpleasant being in that costume, on location in a jungle in Mexico under hot and humid temperatures. But nevertheless, if you're starring in a movie full of tough people, then it's probably not a good idea to be bitching and whining all the time about how uncomfortable you are. Number 7, the movie's original title. Predator's original title is not that different to Predator, but still interesting enough to mention though, as the movie's original title was Hunter, which makes sense. After all, the Predator is hunting down his prey one by one, so logically it makes sense. However, I am really glad it did get changed to Predator, because Predator just has that extra fierceness and sharpness about it, and adds an element of danger. But interestingly enough, the name change was a very late addition in the movie's process, which took place when the movie was in post-production. Which means all while the movie was being filmed, all the actors and crew were under the assumption that the movie was called Hunter. Just imagine had it not been changed. Then Alien vs Predator would have been called Alien vs Hunter. Number 6. Predator has done battle with Batman and Superman. Due to the original movie's grounded realism and warlike settings, it would have been very strange if in the movie Predator, if Batman and Superman showed up alongside Arnie to take down the ruthless alien. However, thankfully comics are a different medium, where, luckily, anything goes. Where the alien with a bloodlust for hunting has done battle with two of DC's finest superheroes, in two different series, Batman vs Predator and Superman vs Predator. And in both stories, Predator actually gives our favourite superheroes a run-in for their money, as we see a brutal, bloody showdown between superhero versus alien blood sport hunter. I think my favourite is Batman vs Predator, because I can just see Batman fighting the sadistic alien species for some reason. Whereas I see Superman being a more friendlier story and more whimsical, so to see the Man of Steel go against Predator, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right. But still enjoyable nonetheless. But these aren't the only comics to feature a bizarre team up with Predator, which brings me to my next point. Number 5, Predator has killed Archie. Don't think that the title is misleading. I mean exactly what I say. Predator has killed Archie, as in that weird annoying kid with red hair who's been around since the 1950s. You see, Predator has actually done a few comic book crossovers as well as Batman and Superman, including a crossover with Tarzan, which is really weird but sounds kind of awesome at the same time when you think about it. But definitely the strangest Predator crossover yet is without a doubt the Predator and Archie crossover. Never before have two franchises felt so out of place. But strangely enough, this comic series is actually really violent. I mean, in one scene, we see Predator kill Jughead and literally rip his flesh off with his teeth. But the gore comes to a complete fantastic splatter of joy when we see Predator kill main lead protagonist, Archie, in a shock move you would not have seen coming. But not only does he kill Archie, he totally splatters his head into pieces, turning him into a bloody mess. Oh my god, that's awesome! Number 4, Predator video game. So given how popular and successful the original movie was, it seemed inevitable that Predator would get its own video game, which it did on the Nintendo Entertainment System, which was released in 1987 in the form of a side-scrolling action game. So in the Predator game, you're playing as what I'm guessing is meant to be Arnie's character Dutch, although I don't quite know why the character is wearing pink shorts, but whatever. The story is similar. You have to go on a rescue mission in the jungle, where you fight soldiers. along with other really weird and surreal aliens we never even saw in the movie. I mean, look at this. It looks like the face hugger. And some of these so-called deadly aliens just look way too cute and like something out of a Mario game. But this isn't Mario, this is Predator. And you also have to fight what looks like butterflies. Yeah, look at that, that is most definitely a butterfly. Just think about it. There exists a video game where you play as Arnold Schwarzenegger where you have to kill butterflies. Man, saying that sentence hurts. There was a video game for Predator 2 on the Sega Genesis, where this time the game is a lot more enjoyable, where you play as Danny Glover's character, and you pretty much spend most of the game just running around shooting people. But this game takes no prisoners and turns up the gore, as it also features blood splattered all over the place, and in true nature of the Predator, dead skinned carcasses hanging around. Yikes. Yeah, maybe don't play this one on an empty stomach. Number 3, Predator 2 paved the way for Alien vs Predator. So Predator 2 takes a different approach as far as being a sequel goes, as it doesn't feature Arnold Schwarzenegger, and also this time the setting is set on the streets of LA, only with its gore and intensity turned up a few more notches, which is pretty cool. However, Predator 2 definitely started the Alien vs Predator legacy. All thanks to one blink and you'll miss it moment, where we see a collection of alien skulls, one of which being the skull of a xenomorph alien from the Alien franchise. Keep in mind that Predator 2 came out in 1990, the same year that the first issue of Alien vs Predator would come out. And alas, a new franchise was born, but eventually somewhat let down by its movie versions. Number 2, Predator was played by a friendly Bigfoot. No doubt about it, Predator is one terrifying movie villain. He will ruthlessly creep up on his prey and without mercy destroy them in the most barbaric and brutal ways. In other words, this is one cold-hearted monster. But what about the man behind the mask? Well, the part was played by Kevin Peter Hall, who played the part in both Predator 1 and 2. Hall's other well-known role is, wait for it, that of Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. Yep, the guy who played a ruthless killing beast also just so happened to play a warm-hearted, kind beast, full of love and feels in his heart. I don't know, to me that's just such a unique thing, knowing that Harry from Harry and the Hendersons also played Predator, as they are both foreboding creatures, but at the same time complete opposites. But sadly though, Kevin Peter Hall never really reached his full potential as an actor, as he sadly passed away in 1991, at just the age of 35 years old. But nevertheless, he will always be immortalised as Predator. And Harry. Number 1, the character Billy was meant to be the main lead. Originally in the script, the main hero who goes up against the alien Predator was described as being a Native American. However, during rewrites and probably to accommodate for Schwarzenegger, the character was changed to being Caucasian, and the Native American character would go on to be secondary character Billy. I always liked the Billy character, and I could always feel his intensity when he cuts himself in preparation for his battle with Predator. And I always thought that he was down to earth. Let's just say he didn't need to constantly do one-liners telling people to stick around like Arnie did. Many of those liners, by the way, were improvised by Arnie himself. Nor did he have to boast about his wife having a quote-unquote big pussy, or how chewing tobacco turns you into a sexual Tyrannosaurus. Nope, he was more natural. And I think it definitely would have been an interesting direction to take the film had Billy been in the lead. Okay guys, so that was my look into Predator. So, why am I talking about Predator over Christmas? I mean, it's not exactly a Christmas movie. Well, I guess because back in 1998 when I was a kid, I was given this Predator VHS as a Christmas present. And I watched it and loved it and have been hooked ever since. And because of this, it's kind of like a tradition of mine that each Christmas I chuck Predator on. I don't know, I guess it's just my thing. Anyway, I'm Minty, and Merry Christmas. And if it bleeds, we can kill it. I'm talking about the alien there, not Christmas. Alright, see ya!